Thank you very much, Chairman. Following the question already asked by Paco Milan Mon on the September urgency, we had the case of Bishop Rolando Alvarez, who was outspoken critic along with 5 priests and 2 seminarians. My question goes to External Action Service and the need, finally, to coordinate your work with the work of a Catholic Church as well, of the Holy See diplomacy on what you are going to do with these releases and on the freedom of religion in Nicaragua. And also, is there any chance that the External Action Service would consider that freedom of religion and freedom of belief is crucial in these dictatorial regimes where we don't have any civil society so active and so influential that we can and that we can also spread our means, like 85 million euros. Are we going to see where's this money spent on? Are you helping anything the church as well? Because they are the only ones who are still with their people. I mean, I lived through the communism. Our priests were in prison. They are the only ones in the end that made people believe that there is someone above the dictator, and that's a God. So this should be taken into equation when you are considering your diplomacy in these communist regimes. And no wonder why they are collaborating with Russia and some others with China, because communist regimes know how to make fear and make people scared. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Usually I don't take the floor myself, but today I also want to make a point. Mr. Hatwell, you mentioned the letter Thomas Tobé and I sent to the High Representative Vice President. And my question is once again, we have a regime in Nicaragua which couldn't be much worse. One of the very few countries which openly supports dictator Putin in his war of aggression against Ukraine. And we've mentioned all the deteriorating situation on the ground in the country. It's a tragedy. And on the other hand, I read that we are giving 82 million euros of our taxpayers' money from 2021 till 2024 to Nicaragua. And the question is to you, also personally, how can we make sure that this money is spent wisely and will actually make a difference on the ground? Because on the one hand, to quote you, you said you want to make sure that none of our money will reach the regime. On the other hand, you told us that there's been a total crackdown of civil society. Do you understand where I'm trying to get at? I mean, on the one hand, you say civil society doesn't exist. Everything is run by the Sandinist dictatorship. And on the other hand, you say, yeah, but we will make sure that the money is not given to the regime. Here I have some difficulties following the logic and the argumentation. And I urge you, the least thing you have to do is to make transparent exactly where our money is going to and make sure that really we are making some kind of difference on the ground. Because as long as you can't guarantee that, how am I supposed to tell my taxpayers in Germany that we are still supporting indirectly a Sandinist dictatorship, which is clearly against any EU values? What more can you do? And that's why I understand that it's always the concept of more for more. But do you believe that any time in my lifetime I will realize that the European Union could, in the end, actually give less for less? What more has to happen in Nicaragua until we change our approach, that we go back to business as usual? That's why I put this item on the agenda. And I think, I'm sorry to say that, Mr. Hatwell, the letter I received from Mr. Borrell, written by other people, didn't satisfy me 100%. And I will continue to ask these questions. And also I would like to underline what colleague Zovko said. Perhaps the Catholic Church is the only institution left in Nicaragua who can actually make sure that this taxpayers' money doesn't land in the hands of greedy Sandinist autocrats.
Thank you very much.